little bit of if I go dark on you, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I got shady internet. So I apologize.
All right, gang, welcome everybody on Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. This is a super, super duper special show today. These are my brothers. This show means more to me than any show I've ever done. This is probably the most important show I've ever done. I don't want to mess this thing up in any way, shape, or form. I want to thank everybody that's watching and listening around the world. I want to thank you all for being a part of this. And without any further ado, we're going to bring in Mr. Rod, the director of War Heroes on Water. He's going to explain to you a little bit about this, and then we'll bring in the rest of our guests right afterwards. Come on in, Rod. Here we go, buddy. Woo!
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having us, man. This is super exciting. I know you've been a part of War Heroes on Water since it launched.
Yeah, and thank you very much for
A lot
allowing
of the
me to.
guests here are wondering what in the world is. Well, War Heroes on Waters is a charity fishing tournament hosted combat wounded veterans in our here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
having some internet challenges. Yeah, okay, you got me. So it's
Here
a
you
fishing tournament hosting and benefiting combat wounded veterans. We host up to 125 veterans aboard 50 private sport fishing yachts for a 3-day fishing tournament at the end of September. Charity, it's a fundraiser for our partner Freedom Alliance. And so we've raised $1 million last year. We raised over $5 million campaign to date. We're in our 6th year here at the tournament. And we call it War Heroes on Water. We're not joking about the on water part. These guys get on these yachts they're embedded with the yacht crews. We're fishing for every bluefish islands. So it's a
We're losing
great
Ron.
fishing tournament. It's a great. I'm gonna try with my old camera.
Okay, let's bring in Mike.
See if it's any better with. Is it better? Go ahead.
Let's bring in Mike while Rod's trying to figure out this part. But Rod or Mike, tell us a little bit about the tournament so everybody understands what's going on here. We'll bring Rod back when he figures out his internet problem.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Mike. The tournament started back in 2018. It's to bring people that have been through hell in combat and bring them into the fishing world. This tournament is amazing for combat wounded veterans. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to do it the best I can. It's all about brotherhood. And when you get out of the military, the brotherhood that you get from the tournament brings you back to your time in service. So that's what the tournament is mainly about, is just bringing the family back together. You're a family when you're in combat together. And that's what the tournament's about, is just bringing the family back together. And we're luckily we're able to be a part of such a great experience and partnership with War Heroes on Water. And we couldn't ask for a better partner in this type of community right here.
Right, exactly. So, gang, what this is it's put on by a great man, Anthony Shea. He put together this tournament for the War Heroes, and Freedom Alliance is the group that is pretty much. Mike, you work for Freedom Alliance.
Yes, sir.
So as they go to the donation page and go to donate, just let them know what Freedom Alliance does for you guys. Mike's a big. He's my brother. Don't get me wrong. He's my brother, but he is the reason why I get to fish and have fun and do my podcast. Mike gave the ultimate sacrifice. He went over there and fought for me so I can hang out here and talk to all of you. So I owe a lot to you, Mike. You're my brother, and I love you, man. And just explain to everybody what Freedom Alliance does for all of you guys.
So what this tournament does, not only does like the tournament benefit all the heroes that are engaged in this tournament, but throughout the year, the tournament helps helps us with other trips that we focus on veterans throughout the year, including I'm getting ready to head to Sitka, Alaska, tomorrow for a few-day fishing trip with 15 combat wounded veterans. It also helps support Colorado, which is Adams Lodge. It helps us take veterans that have been wounded in combat into Colorado, camping for a few days, fishing for trout. Oregon, the Rogue River. My coworker Pepper, who runs a offshore experience out in Costa Rica. It helps with an ungodly amount of things to make sure that veterans know that they're taken care of throughout the year. The one thing I know is that this tournament is a big staple in like what we do, and all we care about is making sure that the veterans know that they're loved and that we're there for them. And you can go to freedomalliance.org and you can sign up as long as you're a veteran of the OIF, OEF war campaign. You were in a combat MOS. If you're wounded, all that stuff. We want to make sure that the guys that have been through the heaviest of fighting know that they're loved and cared about.
Absolutely. That is what it's all about. Now, Brett, you've been a part of this for a little bit of time, right? Did you do anything special on these tournaments?
Yeah, I might have won it last year, so I'm the defending champ.
Yeah. So, okay, when you get out there, when you're out there fishing, what is it? Talk to everybody out there. There's a lot of people watching right now. Explain to them what this means to you as a vet, as a human.
It means the world. I mean, you go out there, a lot of us have problems, with our day-to-day living. And for me personally, like it kind of eliminates it, especially for those couple of days we're out on the water, meeting new people, meeting people that we've known for a long time, served with. We all just become a big family, and it's truly amazing.
Absolutely. I can't. Jack, you and I, man, we have some great talks. You and I have spent a lot of time together, Jack. And someday you're going to take me to San Clemente Island with you. That's my bucket list thing, man. We talk about that a lot. We got Rod back, and I think it's important for Rod to talk back about what we were talking about before, because there's a lot to do to get ready for this tournament, and there's a lot involved. So let's run over that real quick, Rod.
Sure. So sorry about my internet problems. Hope it lasts here. So guys, this is a fishing tournament hosting and benefiting these combat wounded veterans. We got Jack, Mike, and Brent, guys that have been involved for a few of the years here. So I recruit private sport fishing yachts big enough to host 2 or 3 vets plus their crew, for the vets to get on the yachts on Saturday in Newport Beach for our kickoff party. We wind up in Avalon Monday night for a closing ceremony, pier party, weigh-in, good times, and back to Newport Tuesday. So if you think, hey, I want to be part of this, man, I want to put my boat in. I've got a yacht 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet or bigger. Dave, you're on a 130 footer last year, but and you want to be part of this, you got to have the capability. You got to really carry your crew, carry your bait, carry your tackle, carry your guys. You got to be willing to do that and have a boat that can do it, put it together. You volunteer, you provide the fuel, the bait, the crew, the tackle. That's your donation. That's your contribution. And then your reward for that is you're going to have guys like we see here, like Mike, like Brent, like Jack, and others, to come on your boat. They're going to step aboard Saturday afternoon, and they're going to be part of your crew for this whole time. And we're going to drive the captains crazy, because you're going to fish for rockfish, you're going to fish for yellowtail, you're going to fish for halibut, you're going to fish for bluefin and marlin and dorado. Everything counts. So these guys are catching a lot of fish, but really building the camaraderie. Some of my best friends in the world right now are War Heroes vets that I would have never known, but I spent 3 days on a boat with them. I got to know them over all these years. They're checking in on me. I got a phone call from a guy a couple of days ago. He sensed I was having a rough time. He was having a rough time. We talked through it together. That's the reward for being part of this thing. So if you want to be part of War Heroes on Water and you got a yacht, get a hold of us through warheroesonwater.com, and we can see if it makes sense. I got room for a few more yachts. We're going to have 50. But there's a lot of other ways to be part of this. Hey, man, this is a charity. This is a fundraiser. You can donate money right now and right up through the tournament. The money goes right to Freedom Alliance. War Heroes on Water doesn't touch the money. You see the QR code there. You can scan that. You can go to warheroesonwater.com, click donate now, and you can give money. We need money. Last year, I had over 1,000 people give at least $10. I think the biggest giver gave 75 grand cash, like on their credit card. So, nothing's too small, nothing's too big, but the money goes to Freedom Alliance. They do a great job. What Mike just described, all their things. We need money. We also do a big silent auction for this tournament. So if you have a goods or a product or service, it'd be good for a silent auction. Fish and tackle, trips, vacations, gift certificates, you name it. You've all been in silent auctions before. It's an online one. We raised, I think, $150,000 last year in the silent auction. Again, all goes right to Freedom Alliance. So that's a great way to, if you're in business, things that I don't have to buy for the tournament, that you guys for here, guys. But if there's, we'll take that stuff as well. You back there?
Yeah, you're good. Keep going.
Okay, cool. So that is
Might be your thing.
a lot of ways guys can contribute.
Okay, so Jack.
Yes, sir.
You've been around for a long time.
I'm in and out here, guys. Keep talking, and if
we're going to talk to Jack for a few minutes, Rod. Wait for your internet to
off this.
It's not working. Bye, Rod. So Jack, you've been a part of this thing for quite a while. Something about you, I don't know what it is, but man, everybody kind of comes around and hangs out with you. I don't know if it's because you're the old guy or what it is, but man, everyone
I'm one of the old guys.
Everyone wants to talk to Jack. Jack, what does this tournament mean to you, buddy? Because I know it's your anniversary and you're stopping for a minute to give back. What does this mean to you?
This tournament is a full circle kind of thing for me. I spent a lot of time in the combat zone. I started going to Iraq in the Persian Gulf in 1984, 85, 86 timeframe. So I've been around for a while. Last stop was freaking Iraq, the last time we invaded. It brings us as a family together. The really cool thing for me is the people that get involved outside of the vets, the boats, the people that donate their boats, their crews, their food, their life for that weekend, those days. It's unbelievable. And the people that donate the money, I can't believe how much money we've raised in this thing to go to the good of people. Fishing's just the freaking, I love fishing. I'm a little behind the power curve when it comes to you guys because I spent a little time overseas, but every time I went overseas somewhere, I tried to fish somewhere. But it's a huge factor for everybody in this event. But I really enjoy learning. I enjoy meeting the new guys. Like Mike, this year, how many guys are old guys and how many guys are new guys?
All right, so this year we want to bring 50 returning vets. So we're going a little bit shorter on the returning vet part, only because we want more people to get involved with the tournament this year. So we're going to bring 75 new veterans coming out, and we're bringing 50 returning vets. And I think with the boat count, we want to have at least one returning vet on each boat so that they can show the new guys what this tournament's about, and then show them how much this means to them and what they've gained from it.
Yeah, and we don't just have men; we have female vets too. It's badass, and they've been slaying the fish. They
won second last year, so we invited 6 females this year.
Little hat up there. Who got first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who won the Marlin division?
That, right?
Who won the
No
Marlin?
big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So, anyways, so
the banter continues.
Dave, the thing is huge, and it's only getting bigger and better. I am the oldest guy, maybe next to I don't know how old is Rod?
Rod,
I think we're older than it.
Pretty old, Jack.
Yeah, pretty old.
Not as
now.
old as you, Grandpa, but
Okay, Rod, now that we got you, no audio, I mean, no video, but audio. Let's go back to talking about, because you were breaking up pretty bad. And the stuff you have to say is super important to what's going on here right now. So can you go back to talking about what we're doing in Newport, what we're doing, how we're going to get these guys to donate some cash, get involved in
Sure.
this thing, be a
Yeah.
part of this? Go ahead.
Sure. So the ways to be involved, number one is we're still looking for a handful of yachts. I recruit 50 yachts to be part of it. I think you guys got most of that message, but if you're interested, let us know. We'll let you in here, or at least see if it makes sense. You can also, donate money. It's a fundraiser. It goes right to Freedom Alliance. The money does everything that these guys are talking about. We need cash donations. So everything from $10 to $75,000 has kind of been the range. We'll take it all. Just go ahead and show your support. It's really important that when we're talking to these guys at the, at the kickoff, hey, I didn't know anybody cared. I'm like, well, I got 1,000 people gave at least $10. I've got 50 yachts carrying vets. I've got, there's another 50 yachts out there to watch our national anthem and our boat parade through Newport. In Avalon, the town of Avalon hosts a pier party. The town of Avalon hosts the whole freaking tournament Monday night for us. So if there's anything that you want to give, whether it's your boat, you want to show up to the kickoff, national anthem boat parade in Newport Beach, or you want to show your support, you want to give us items for our silent auction. We do a silent auction that people love to participate in, goods and services, stuff I don't have to buy. If you can donate it to defer the cost of the tournament, it could be things like trophies, could be things like, gifts for just anything that we might need to do. If you've got a business hosting parties, things like that, we have a booze sponsor. We have a few different sponsors. Listen, if you think you have something to give, get a hold of us at War Heroes on Water. We'll find a way to take deduction for that, by the way. So
yeah, and
really
how
showing your
special
support,
was that, Rod?
it means a lot.
When we hit that pier last year, the amount of people that were just there to support an Avalon was absolutely incredible. I didn't know this was going to happen. Wasn't that insane, you guys?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I've been Marlin tournaments over there that weren't that nice.
No, it was incredible.
Yeah, so,
what, Rod? Go ahead.
Yeah, that whole experience at Avalon, like, listen, we're from Southern California, most of us. We're fishing. We've been on these boats our whole lives. So our whole idea was, hey, we know how healing it is to be on the water. Listen, I'm going to go fishing tomorrow. I've been fishing in 6 months. I'm going to get off the dock. I don't care if I'm going to try and catch fish, but if I don't catch fish, I don't care. I want to go out there. It's where we go to heal. It's where we go to feel better about ourselves and to take what we love and share it with these veterans. Say, come on out here, get on a boat in Newport, do the thing, go fishing, come into Avalon, pick up a mooring, be on the pier, fish for what we do. Spend this time with us and, be our friend. We'll be your friend. And we trust each other, and that's super powerful. But the amount of support when we get off the dock and we have the big boat doing the national anthem in Newport, and there's 50 WOW yachts, and then there's another 50 or 60 other boats out there milling about, honking their horn, doing the boat parade. Everybody's standing on their dock, waving their American flags as they go by. Like, I can't really speak for Mike and Brent and Jack and the others too much, but you've seen the pictures, man. It's powerful. And then the reunions these guys make when they get together and they hug each other in the hotel when everybody shows up. It's cool. I got to tell you, my favorite part about me, but what happens, guys, the vets all come into town on Friday afternoon, and they show up at the hotel, and I try to be there. Because when you watch a vet walk in through the doors of the hotel in Brent or somebody, and the hugs and the sincere, the new guys that don't know what to expect, they've never been part of it before, and they see all this camaraderie, I tell you, man, it's 24/7, 3 of the brotherhood and the sisterhood, just the camaraderie that we build, the trust. It's the fundraising, it's the experience, it's the whole community here, the fishing community, the sport fishing community, the boating community can all be part of this by showing your support, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's just showing up and waving your flag, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that it's a family. Like when you, even if you're brand new, when you come into the tournament, you see the connections that have already been made from the previous people that have been on the tournament, and they feel it. It's a brotherhood. Like you once you've been through the brotherhood, and then you've been away from a while, and then you see that, it's like coming back to that, and that's what the tournament's about. It's just,
yeah, it's really cool that way too, Mike, is that some of these guys come in and they're all quiet and in their shell. And by the time they leave the tournament, they're wide open buddies, and you're learning more and more about them, and they're opening up, and that's just a great start for somebody.
Yeah, it's a healing process, and like, doesn't matter how far you're healing from from your time in combat. Once you see it and you go through it, like it just starts the healing process, and the healing process is there, and it's there. You have 125 veterans to learn different coping skills on what you're going through in your daily life. You got 125 people to learn new ways to get through what you've seen in combat. And that's the best part about it right there.
Go ahead, Rod.
Yeah, I think that's super powerful, Mike. I think your job is, among other things for this thing, is to help recruit veterans. And I'm sure at first it's like, gosh, I don't want to go, just saying, and, another fishing trip. But once they kind of understand and get in, then the vets who have been in it before, they can't wait to come back. It's like Christmas. They hope they get the invite from you. And, we love that everybody wants to be back. I wish I could host 1,000. Obviously we can't, but I'm so glad I've got to meet all these guys and build these relationships. It's awesome. And so an important part for me, look at that. That's a great shot. The important part for me is I get to bring in, listen, I didn't serve. I'm not a veteran, but I'm a fisherman. I grew up around here. I know the guys with yachts and boats, and to bring my friends, my community, my people in, and I drag them into this thing too. I'll tell you, you won't be sorry. It's the best fishing we ever done. Most of these yacht owners, you wouldn't think of missing it if there's any way they can not. So to be part of that, to be part of that camaraderie, to experience it. Dave, I saw you almost tear up after the first year. Maybe not almost.
No,
I think you did. I think you did.
I do. This is real. I had opportunity a couple of years to give a kind of a let's get this thing going, kick it in the butt speeches. And I'll tell you what you got, like I was talking about Mike before, you're my buddy, you're my pal Brett, and Jack, and everybody, over the last 5 years, all the heroes that have gotten to fish with me, we've become really good friends. We've become really close. And I appreciate that was probably one of the best speeches ever in the history of the planet Earth, right, Mike?
Epic freaking speech. Epic. Year one.
Yeah, that was it. The first year, we're talking about on water, it really was, we never had shore. This is at the captain's party, kickoff party, if you will, and that's 44 anchored up there, in front of White's or something like that. And we had the whole tournament there. And as I'm looking at this picture, like what's really cool, look, there's the Beak. He's part of this thing. Steve Lasley, Jim Kingsmill. I see Dick Peckham and Billy from the Gambler, like all the hot shots. We got freaking Captain Dave Hansen, Jimmy Decker. I mean, just a lot of great fishermen that decided, I'm going to be part of this. I want to share. I want to pay back. I want to give it back. And guys, you don't have to be, a Dave Hansen or a Steve Lasley being this thing. The boat that won it last year, first time in it, put together a crew, went out there, and they chipped away at it, and they caught calico bass, they caught rockfish, they caught yellowtail, they caught bluefin, they caught a bunch of different fish and different species. And son of a gun, they won the tournament as the high team. And there was no brand name. They beat out Bad Company by a couple points, and I forget who was third, but another Highliner. I think it was I know who it was. It was the guys on El Cazador. So the gals, I should say, the gals on El Cazador. So Maya and all them, that they've been back. Like, we've just to share all this, great fishermen, great yacht crews, great yachts, great. What does it take to be part of this thing? Biggest thing you got to have is a heart bigger than Brent's beard there. Like, you really got to you got to put your heart in the right place. You got to have the boat, you got to have the wallet, but you really got to have the heart. And I've had a number of people that I recruit in this thing tell me it's the very best thing they've ever done to be part of this thing. And they'll skip every other tournament. Dave from Bullpens bringing the boat all the way back up from Cabo just to be in this tournament and bringing it right back down. He's moving the boat 1,000 miles each way to be here.
Yep. Stop for a second. Look at what Joe has to say, guys.
Jose Vallejo, we love you, bud.
Really?
But read what he says. This is exactly true. This is why, like, when I started the show today, I don't want to screw this up, because this is a life life-saving event. Besides all the other support, this is a life-saving event for a lot of vets. A lot of vets. This changes their whole life, wouldn't you say, Brett?
Oh, definitely.
It's a big deal, gang. I don't want to screw it up, man. When I share and when I stand up in front of you guys and talk, I'm sharing from my heart as deep as I can because it matters. And I know how I talk to a lot of you guys, and I know where you're at in your mind. And this is when we drive through the harbor and they see the hundreds of people standing on their private boats that aren't even a part of this, but they are a part of this because they're standing there with their flag and they're waving their flag and they're cheering us on as we're leaving the harbor. It is a big deal. Gang, if any of you have a boat, you want to be in Newport for this, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you can be standing on the shore. You can have a boat. We've got some VIP opportunities to get you out there on the boat parade, and be part of this thing. I got to tell you, when you've got 50 WOW yachts plus the rest of the yachts, forming a line almost a mile long, boating through Newport, it's spectacular to be part of it and show your support. Watch that national anthem. Yeah, take off your hat, put your hand over your heart, and show your support. And it is amazing. And this community has really come out. I mean, I'm so proud of my people, the Southern Cali sport fishing community. We saw a picture earlier. They let us host a tournament, even with Dave at the Tuna Club of Avalon once. But I mean, the Tuna Club opened up their doors for us. The Newport Harbor Yacht Club, Balboa Yacht Club, the Dana War Sport Fishing. Think of all the different Newport or the Long Beach Yacht Club. All these clubs have given us their facilities, their opportunities, their members participate, the clubs themselves, the organizations donating money. Firms like AFCO gives up a ton of stuff. A lot of the Berkeley gives stuff. A lot of the fishing community gives stuff. This year, I'm going to hit up the sport fishing fleet. When we're out fishing, you see a WOW yacht, I want you to pass them a scoop of bait and tell them where the yellowtail were biting an hour ago. So that these vets, when they're out fishing, they got enough bait to fish with. They got some information. It's easy to find my WOW yachts. We're all flying the flag. It's a Sunday, Monday. It's not going to beat you guys up too bad. But I want this whole community to come in and support these vets. And so far they have. It's been wonderful.
And I could tell you from like just a vet perspective on seeing how many people show up. That's where like I think the vet community, like we fall off on. Like we don't feel like there's a lot of support when it comes, like when you get out, you don't feel like there's a lot of support. But you go to this event and you see how many people turn out and like show up in support of this tournament and for veterans around the country, like the morale just goes up and it just makes you want to compete that much more. And like, obviously this is a tournament and you want to win the tournament, but just to see the love and support that we get when this tournament kicks off, that just kickstarts everybody into like a super heavy drive to want to win this thing and win it for not only for their boat, but for their branch of service. And it's bragging rights every year. You got bragging rights every year for this, but
Go Navy.
Go Army. We already know that one. But it's just the love and support. And like, just to see it makes you like realize that we aren't forgotten and that we are cared about. And I couldn't thank Rod, Anthony, Dave, and everybody that's been a part of this tournament from the inception. I couldn't thank you guys enough at all.
I agree totally.
I couldn't thank you guys enough. And there's an ugly picture of me right there. Thanks for showing that there. I appreciate that one. Yeah. But I mean, the beard is a little longer, but you can't go wrong with this tournament. Like it's one of those things where you're gonna find somebody that you don't know that you're gonna become friends with for the rest of your life. And
well, I can vouch for that, Mike, because I've got to meet you. All the guys on the video right now, I got to meet through this tournament, except maybe Dave. I might have met him before, but and a bunch of others. Like there's so many. There's guys like Carlos. There's guys like Courtney. There's guys like there's a bunch of them. Caleb. I mean, they're all first name basis. You guys knew who I'm talking about, but like we'd be able to form these bonds and to support these guys. And I tell you, one of my favorite moments, I think you guys will agree. So when this tournament wraps up, guys, the whole fleet comes to Avalon. And we line up in front of Avalon. We do a little, and all the yachts line up, gunnel to gunnel, like bow facing the sea. And we have these planes fly by, do the flying formations, throw in the smoke, the flying crown formation and stuff like that. And all the yachts are there honking their horn. Some people are, but I'm usually at one end of the deal, and the other thing is the other. That other yacht is literally on the GPS 1 mile from me. We have a mile lined up. ready to wrap this tournament, 125 vets. And then as soon as that goes, we pull into Avalon. The guys go get their moorings, the guys with big fish back into the pier. How cool is it, guys, to back into the pier, bring the crane, hoist up your big fish, get it on there, the crowd cheering. I broadcast that on the internet, so you guys could all watch it. There's a party going on. Yeah, there's the fleet for the flyover. It is, to me, I love that. I love Avalon in the background. I love all my friends, all these yachts out here supporting. I love all these vets being there, feeling the love. The smiles, like you talked about. In the first year, we had a picture, I think it was Travis, first day of the tournament, walking down this kind of like sour looking, stern looking face, like he was, going to the principal's office. And at the end, there's a picture of him at the end. His face is all sunburned. His smile is ear to ear. And you could just see the transformation 3 days later from, I'm not sure what's going to happen, to, my God, look what happened. The great shot. We do the color guard national anthem. That was one of the first years we kick it off in front of Avalon. That might've been the second year there. But gosh, man, it is so powerful to be part of it as, not a vet. And so I just know the vets really appreciate it. Hey guys, real quick, I saw a comment on here. It says no small boats. What's it take? Really, you got to be able to host at least 2 vets on your boat and get on the boat on Saturday and off on Tuesday and fish with enough gear, tackle, provision, stuff like that. A lot of guys anchor in the cove. You can pull it off if you want to go, be in Avalon and get a hotel, or working on some mothership type deals. But you really got to have a yacht or a boat that's capable of carrying a couple guys for a few days. So that's kind of, I think the smallest we've had is a 31 or a 35 or something, but really 40 feels about right. A 35 Cabo is a stretch for this thing, unless you are going to post up an Avalon or tag along on someone with a 130 footer or something, Dave. So
here's what I would say, probably, Darren, the most important thing is you got to remember, we're going to be out there for a few days. 3 days is what we're going to be there for. So you got to be able to accommodate sleep, and you got to have water. Those are the 2 things that are most important. We got to be able to sleep, and we got to have water. And then if you have a smaller boat, like a lot of members of our group, Rod and I's friends and everybody, they don't have boats that can do that. So what they do is they get over to Avalon, and they're there, and they're hanging out on their boat, and they got a million flags. And then when we hit the pier, they're on the pier. As we come off, and Mike and Brett and Jack will tell you, there is not a better, even for me, and I'm not even a vet, but when I walk off that pier and I see all those people that are there, well, I know what it takes to get there. I know what it costs. I know that the fuel's not free. I know what it takes to get to Avalon and be standing on that pier. It's a big commitment, but it shows all of us, especially the vets, man, I'm going to lose it. But it shows all of us that we matter. Right, guys?
Yeah, it makes us feel like we have some self-worth back again, from deployments and everything.
So it's not about
one of the things that I've
go ahead, Rod.
Yeah. Hosting is great. Showing your support in any way that you can, whether it's giving some money, giving some time, or just showing up, giving some goods and services. One of the things that I really have learned to appreciate at this event is that we talk about, when we've heard it here a little bit, kind of the jabbing between, the Navy or the Marines or the Army or the Air Force or whatever. But I've branches come together, and I've watched a Marine hug an Army guy. Can you believe that? I learned what crayon eaters are, a few other things, but in the difference. But not only you bring guys together that serve together, but you bring guys that were from different. They got each other's backs. They love, man. They're all fighting the same fight, and to be there for them is and to help do that. There's a good shot of our start, and then Newport and the national anthem boat parade and stuff. Yeah, it's just awesome, man. All these things. Every time I watch these videos, I get stuck. And guys, on our YouTube channel, there's a ton of videos. You want to see some great stuff, some great interviews. You want to hear Captain Dave talk some more. We've interviewed him a couple times. There's Jason telling us it's the best thing he's ever done. That's what he's saying right there. Like, it is amazing. Here's where we board the boarding party at Anthony's house. Each yacht pulls up it's like a NASCAR pit crew. Party's full of 400 people. You pull the boat up, tie it up. The vets come down. Everybody cheers. And then you take the picture, they pull off, next yacht pulls on. I got 50 yachts. It takes 2.5 hours to load the vets for the party. It is for the start. It is unbelievable. And we have a great time. And there's Larry. He won it a couple of years, caught a big bluefin on stand-up, missing 2 legs. That's freezing. So it's just, I don't know. I know we just keep preaching here, but it is just so powerful. And so, guys, we need your help. There's Dave giving his interview. He's crying right there under his eyes, under his son. We need the support. Dig in, whatever you can do. Visit warheroesonwater.com and learn more about it. Lots of ways. There's ways to kind of enter your name if you want to be a crew, if you want to have a yacht to put in, you got other stuff you want to contribute. Visit our website, check it out, and I guarantee you won't be sorry. The only thing to be sorry about is that you didn't do it sooner. That's what I got to say about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Jack, you've been around for so long, and I'm happy to say
At least 100.
that. But you know what I mean about how important this thing is, and how many lives have we saved? Do you think? You can't even put a number on it.
I don't put a number on it. I think it's still saving people.
Exactly. And they're doing this show and showing people the amount of people that are watching, and you're leaving your comments. All this matters. Every single thing matters. And we all understand it. Right, Mike? I mean, come on. This thing is pretty insane. The whole camaraderie,
Yes,
the community we brought together.
A couple years ago, Josh
if there was one sentence, go ahead.
I was just going to say a couple years ago, Josh Miles was last year when he's talked to people that said, I don't think I deserve it. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. If you get a chance to come out on this thing, get out there, meet new people, enjoy the company, enjoy like just take it all in and just sit back and look at it and be like, wow, I'm here. I'm with California's best fishermen and women in the freaking world. And everybody has that point in their life that has been through combat. They don't think they're deserving of it. Apply. You're deserving of it.
Reply. It's talking about Josh, and it's tough. But from that speech, Mike, one of the things that he said was, you made a difference. You guys make a difference. We all want to make a difference. And we can do that. And another thing that's always struck home, and it was from that second year when Vinny, who won the tournament the first year, wanted to say something. He got up, and you're talking about the vets and the struggles. And I'll never forget this when he says, guys, I've been there. I've been to the edge. And I heard one guy back there, me too. And, everyone's saying, like I said, man, I've had bad days. I've been close there. And Vinny had one thing to say. It's not your fault. And we're here together to support each other. And I've never forgot that moment. If there's ever a reason that's it, man. Those are some very powerful moments.
Yeah.
And
every year
the fact
has
that the veterans that participate.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
And how?
No, I was just saying that every year has its powerful moments, and you can't take away, like, every year there's something special that happens that makes people want to be a part of the tournament. And it's that powerful moment that brings everybody closer, because they've all felt the reason of why that person's saying it. And that's the whole point of this tournament, is to feel what that one person is saying, and then we can come together as one family. That's it.
Yeah. Wow is family. That's our motto, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
It's cool. There are vets in this tournament have done very heroic things. Guys jumping in front of bullets for their leadership. They're just unbelievable dudes you can meet as a boat owner or a sponsor or whatever you want to do. And then for us, it's the same way. We get to meet some really unbelievable people in this tournament as well, which helps turn lives around. It's an awesome deal. And thank you, Dave and Rod, for doing what you guys do.
Thank you very, very much. I can't even comprehend not being a part of this thing. And I look back to the first phone call I got from Rod. That was just an incredible phone call. And I was like, he asked, do you think your boss? I just said yes. I didn't even have to think about it. I just said, yes, we're going to be involved. I haven't talked to the boss yet. I haven't got him to donate the boat or anything, but I guarantee you we're a part of this, and we are. And the boss is sitting there on the rail right next to Jimmy King's mill. And right there, that picture says it all. There's Hall of Fame, IGFA Hall of Fame guys the Beak, and Lasley, and we're all there. We're all smiling. We're all laughing. We're all having a good time. Because I'll tell you what, when you're a part of this, whatever part you are a part of, whether you're there to cheer them on as they leave, you're there to donate your boat, you're there to do whatever, or give your dig in your pocket and give your donation, it is going to make your heart feel so flipping good. You can't even comprehend how good this is going to make you feel inside. And like Rod said, we stream this thing live from the pier in Avalon, so you can see what's going on. You can actually see where your donation's going, see how it feels. You're gonna puff up. You're gonna feel so good that you were I can't even I know it sounds like I'm blowing this thing up, but it is. It is all that in a bag of chips. It is all that in a bag of chips.
Hey, Dave. So I want to tell a story from the first year. It's one of my favorite stories of War Heroes on Water. So Dave was running a boat, and on the first day, late in the evening, they hooked one of those big fucking bluefins. Oh, sorry, one of those big giant bluefins, and they fought this thing well into the dark, had it up, coming into color, and right out of reach of the gaff. The hook didn't pull. The freaking fish pulled apart, and they got like a little piece of the face, and the rest of the fish was gone. So you guys, fishermen, you all know how bad that feels when you've been pulling and fighting and working so hard to get this fish, and just out of the reach of the gaff, it goes away. So these guys, it's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. So the morale on the boats, down in the dumps. I'm sure I wasn't on the boat. Dave was pushing it live on Facebook when it happened. So we all knew they were fighting it, and we knew when they lost it. So the next day we come back in, and we're anchored up at Catalina there, getting ready for the awards. And Dave and his vets are waiting to get picked up from the skiff to come to the party. And the guy, Brian, one of the vets, soaking a bait, and he gets bit. And gosh darn it, he catches a nice yellowtail right there, waiting for the thing. I think he got 2 right then, didn't he, Dave? Real quick.
Yeah, he got 2 nice yellows there, and my deckhand had to jump in the water and get one of the yellows off the propeller.
Oh.
So Brian went from losing probably the away the night before to waiting to get picked up for the thing, gets a couple nice yellows, and wins the yellowtail division at the last moment. And we've got a great picture of him. It's on a lot of our pictures. He's holding the trophy. What's left of his hand is in the air. Brian's a guy that was one of the bomb tech guys. Yeah, Myers, and and he doesn't have much left of arms and legs, but man, he's got a heart the size of one of these yachts here. And I remember coming up to Brian after that was all done, and he'd won, and I said, "Hey, Brian, I know you guys got good days and bad days, and hopefully this one will get you over the hump on a bad day." And Brian looked at me, no joke. He says, "You see this smile on my face? You couldn't remove that with surgery." And I got to tell you, man, from a guy who's rode the entire emotional roller coaster of losing the fish of a lifetime to catching a couple, to winning a division, and all the camaraderie, everything that he built up, man, when he said that, I got to tell you, I just about like crumbled into a little piece, man. It was just unbelievable. And I'm sure there's a story like that every year on every yacht. But that's the one for me.
Thanks, Rod. Wow. Yeah.
I knew I'd get you, Dave, with that one. You were right there. You witnessed every bit of it.
Yeah, that was a gnarly day. One of the funny things about Brian, you guys, is Brian has got the greatest sense of humor of somebody that went through what he went through and did what he did. He asked my deckhand Chase, he goes, "Throw me a beer." Chase throws him a beer, bounces off his chest. He goes, "Why would you throw a beer to a guy without any arms?"
You should see him do his party trick where he spins around on his prosthetic.
Oh, absolutely. Just, oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, just lots of great stories, lots of great guys and gals, last year, Maggie was fishing on the Bad Company with you, Brent, and you had, you guys had quite a time. I think she jumped up, and Maggie's a gal in a wheelchair that's missing a couple of legs, I think, right? And then she jump off the boat and go for a swim out there, right?
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah, she did a backflip off the boat.
Yeah. So you had quite a crew. You were on Bad Company last year. You had Maggie with you. I know you had Cindy Miles, Josh's wife, who's a Navy vet as well. And not only did you guys win the tournament, you caught a lot of fish, but that was a healing for everybody on that boat that day, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's take 1 second here real quick. Let's talk about, and Mike or Brett or Jack, whichever one of you guys want to lead, let's talk about Josh for just a second, because he was such an integral part. What a super human being. And I love that I got to meet him and got to be his friend. Let's just talk about him because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean,
For me, go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Brent.
You're good. Go ahead.
My first experience with Josh was year one. And when I walked through those double sliding doors into the hotel, Pepper walked up. And we all know Pepper. That dude takes the best photos in the world. Shout out to my boy Pepper. Love you, bud. He came up to me and he goes, "Hey, this guy, you know, was in Fallujah when you were in Ramadi." And like instantly I was like, "What was your MOS?" And he was like, "Oh, 311." And so instantly we had a brother and we clicked right away. And like, it was just, he just had this personality that you couldn't, like, you saw greatness in his face. And that dude had pure loyalty to what he wanted to do. And he did everything to the best, like beyond everything. I looked up to that guy. I still look up to him. I worked with her. Like he hired me. Like it wasn't, you know, it was just, I owe so much to him that I can't pay it back, you know, with just words. Like I have to do it with an action. And that's all he wanted. He wanted was action. And the dude was just a straight, genuine individual that cared about his brotherhood. And like, he just like, it didn't matter like what branch you were in, he cared about you. And he went out of his way. I think the second year at Warrior Heroes on Water, maybe the third, I'm not 100% sure, but he went out of his way and he went up to every single person and said hello and had a conversation with every single person. That's a lot of people to have a conversation with. And it's not saying that we don't want to do that. I'm just saying, like, that's a lot for one individual in a short amount of time to have a 5 to 10 minute conversation with a lot of people. That shows true character. And that's what, to me, like, I can't thank him enough for being a part of my life, being a part of everybody's lives, you know, to his wife, Cindy, and his daughter, Bree, and his son, Austin. Like, you were with and lived with an amazing fucking person. Sorry for cussing, but you lived with an amazing person, and you got to, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Can't add much to that.
No, Josh was an amazing human, and
Amazing voice.
oh my gosh, he brought us all together
Yeah.
so good. He was always there to make sure we all were together. Yep.
Yeah, for the group that we're talking about, Josh Miles. Josh was the director of whatever their
Charitable
lines. He was in charge of all these special groups. Yeah. So, and he was a big part from the beginning, first few years of War Heroes on Water, helping recruiting the vets, operate the tournament, was our main guy there. And shortly after the fourth year of the event, he went home and suffered a massive heart attack, and we lost him like just a week after the event. And Brent and Jack and Mike and a few of us flew out there for his service right after, and that was about as heavy as it gets. But we miss him. We love his family, and we're carrying on his legacy. So one of the things that we did this year, the top boat award, we renamed it. It's the Josh Miles Award. So he lives on forever in War Heroes on Water. That if you want to epitomize teamwork and cooperation and leadership and success, well, then if you can do all that, you get the Josh Miles Award. So that's what we can do to honor his legacy. He'll never be forgotten. He's a big part of this event. And we did get to host his wife, Cindy, so she could come out this year and see what this was. And I'll just tell us any story about Cindy. When she arrived, and she was, it was tougher at first. And we had this little get together on Friday night, and she was sort of standing off to her side. And I spent some time talking to her. I knew it was going to be heavy. When they came into the pier, Brent, when you guys came into the pier to back in with all those fish, gosh darn it, you couldn't keep Cindy from floating up off the deck. Her smile was this big, and she was jumping all over the place. She was so excited and so happy and hugging everybody. And she says, "This is what it was all about. I get it. And so we were able to honor that legacy and carry it forward. And we will continue to do so and support that family and all these wild families. Like, this is just what we do. This is who we are. So that was a lot, but that's life, man. Nothing's permanent, but our role here at War Heroes on Water is keep these vets going. Keep these vets going and show the support. And for all of us, here's welcome them in at the hotel when the guys are up. I'll give everybody an itinerary. When a vet is part of War Heroes on Water, they show up on a Friday. This is at the hotel when they check in, all the hugs and kisses. I just saw Sandy. And then we have a private reception that Friday evening. Saturday, we have a big party down at Newport Beach. Here's the dock party, and the vets arriving. They get greeted. And then one by one, the yachts pull up during the party. They board. They go out to the center of Newport and harbor there. We do the national anthem and boat parade. They head out of the harbor Saturday evening as it's getting dark. Lines in at midnight. Fish all day Sunday. Fish Monday till 4 p.m. back to Avalon. The closing ceremony fly over. There's Maggie catching her fish. Pull into the pier party. And then Tuesday back to Newport. They finally get back off the boat there. We have an awards party Tuesday night. And then they go home Wednesday. Sounds like a long time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But, man, it goes in a heartbeat, doesn't it, guys?
It's too fast like that.
Wait all year for it, and then it happens so fast.
Yeah, so, but there's Cindy there. But it's such a great comp. When time goes fast, that it's a good time. And that the guys are having fun and the gals, and we're sorry when it's over. It's a lot of work for me. It's a lot of stress and hassle, but man, when it's over, I'm relieved that already planning next year, already getting ready for the next deal. And we're planning for this year. And I love watching these videos because I see people that I've grown to love that I would have never met were it not for this. So I encourage anybody that wants to be experience that feeling, that you find a way to show up and participate. You might not get so much, FaceTime with all these guys, but you can certainly show your support. I guarantee you they'll feel it. They will feel it. And it's not just the 125 vets that show up. It's the thousands of vets that Freedom Alliance does great things for, from homes and cars and scholarships for the Gold Star kids, and just helping out, making ends meet, going on special treats and events and retreats and just the support. So there's the reason to do it right there.
Yep. Agreed 100%, Rod.
So I encourage others, Justin. So we just, guys, here's on the pier. I love watching this. I can sit here and just narrate this stuff, but it doesn't matter if you're catching a Dorado or a 200-pound bluefin. We come in, the crowd's cheering, everything goes on. It goes until 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. Boats are waiting. And I think I had 25 boats hit the pier last year, and it is just freaking awesome to share that with everybody. This is what we love. There's you, Mike. And this is, and there's a team that won. Game on. No giant fish. They won the tournament. They caught a lot of fish, a lot of different species. It's a hard tournament to fish as a crew. But it is a lot of fun and it's very rewarding. We make sure these guys get a chance to fish for everything. Calico bass, rockfish, make sure they're catching some fish and having some fun, not just trolling around waiting for one lucky bite. We got big yachts, 130 footers down to 35 or so. So there's a pretty wide range of yachts that participate. And we just put on a first-class event from start to finish. And we want to make sure that these veterans feel the love. Here's Al-Haji coming up as they announce the Josh Miles Award, and he's crying. I don't blame him. I was crying.
I think we all cried on that one. I think he served with Josh.
So there it is. That's what it's all about, man. When you can make a big bad Marine like that speechless and ready for tears, you know you did something.
Look at that dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see him on Tuesday or Wednesday, the 17th. I'm gonna see him there in Alaska. That's what the tournament's about, is not only this, but giving them an opportunity to go somewhere else, like Alaska, that they don't think that they would ever be able to go to.
And Mike, I know the bonding and the extra stuff, like our tournament, it's one thing, it's whatever, but there's a lot of, like, you have some group sessions and you have some therapy and you have some ways besides a great, vacation, if you will. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. That's just a vehicle you use to kind of break down the barriers so that they'll talk. I know I've talked to Pepper a lot about what he does down in Costa Rica. I know you guys do similar stuff on your Alaska and Oregon and other trips that you do. There's there's a lot of good healing going on there. It's not just a boat riding and beer drinking, but we like to do that too.
That's that. I mean, that's the bonus part of it. But getting together is always is what it's about. Is just getting together and enjoying each other's company, reminiscing about. We're not all of us are as old as Jack. You know, he's been around since a Roman time. You know, but like for us people that joined when we were 18, and you know, we got out after 4, 5, 10 years of being in the military. Like it's just cool to come back and and be your 18-year-old self again on these trips. You just go back and be like, when I was 18, I was here in Colorado, or I was there somewhere else, and I did this. It was funny as hell. And everybody has an 18-year-old story, a 20-year-old story, a 21-year-old story. Everybody has those, and it's cool to be able to just sit there around a campfire, or sitting in a lodge, or just somewhere in general on a boat at War Heroes, and just be able to talk about that and reminisce the good times that you had when you were in the military. And like, if you're like me, I live in an area where like I don't know a lot of people that served, and like you don't get to sit there and have those conversations on a daily basis. But when I go on these trips and I get to meet new people, that stuff comes back up, and it's cool to be able to express it. I don't know about you, Jack or Brent, but when I'm able to sit there and meet someone new and talk about what they've been through, like that benefits me more than it been, And Jack, I've taken you to Alaska.
Yeah, you didn't take me this.
No, you've already gone, bud. I can't help you on that one.
Alaska.
He was mad because I caught a bigger halibut than him.
You did catch a bigger one. Yeah.
But I love you, bud.
Make sure everybody takes their seasick pills up there.
Yeah, I might get rocky again. I'm pretty sure.
Boat ride back, I was laughing the whole time.
Same here.
Oh, look at that.
But,
there's Hall of Fame.
The legend.
Yeah. Pulling it up, buddy. There's a lot of great fishermen. And crews in this thing, but man, it's just like I think one of the fan favorites out there, and they're not a highliner they're really good fishermen. They actually won it, but you think of a guy like Dave on the bullpen. He loves this tournament so much that that's a boat that's living in Cabo right now. And he is literally bringing the boat up from Cabo to fish War Heroes on tournament and get back down there in time for the Bisbees. Like, that's how much he loves this tournament. That's how much he loves you guys. He wouldn't think of missing it. He missed it one year, and he almost cried. I bet you he did cry. He came to the party. I think he did cry. He had the boat getting worked on. It just wasn't ready on time. And, so you become part of the family. It becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your deal. And like we said it in the first year, here we go. Try and help the veterans. They help us right back. Like they lift us up. Here we are trying to do a good thing for them, and they're making us feel better about our life. I mean, and stuff like that. So it is that powerful. And this is the quality of human that Freedom Alliance has attracted to be part of. The military has attracted. These are all guys that raised their hand. They weren't drafted. They all raised their hand to get shot at and blown up so we can go fishing in Catalina, so we can live our life, so we can sleep well at night. And I appreciate that so much, and I'm so indebted to all of you, and I'm so grateful to get a chance to know some of you. And I'm super, super, very rewarding for me to be able to support as many as I possibly humanly can. I put a god awful amount of time and effort into this, and I haven't sacrificed 1/100th of what you guys have. I appreciate it. So I challenge everybody that's listening right now that watches this later, man, reach into your heart and reach into your pocket and give a few bucks. Even if you don't have a lot, just one more name on the list. When I get in front of this group and I say, listen, 1,000 people gave $10, I really need 1,000 people. I need you to be one of them. So hit the code there. You can give, whatever you want and be part of it and show your support and fly your flag. Buy a WOW flag. We're selling hats and T-shirts and stuff through our shop. All the proceeds go to this. We're going to have, you see an auntie there, Mr. Bad Company, and guys is actually, this is his baby. War Heroes on Water. It's his Mike. And if you guys fishing and just wanted to do more and said we should run a little tournament in Southern California, I thought we were doing a picnic. It turned into a circus, but man, what a circus. And it's been wonderful.
That
And
long
I
hair.
just, it's our job to, yeah, it's our job to pull the whole community in. Like, how can I help? Man, there's a million ways. The easiest way is to, with your credit card, and then with your participation, with your presence when the time is right. It's September 22nd through 24th, I think, this year, or something like that. It's that last weekend or second to last weekend in September. And man, I'm hoping for good weather. I'm hoping for good fishing. And Mike, I can't wait to see you and the whole group, the Free Alliance group, the WOW family team, all the veterans, all the yachts and crews and vets. It is a reunion like no other. One thing I'll say about the fishing tournament, and I've always had this thing. I've run different fishing tournaments throughout the years. I always wondered, how can we get the best fishermen in clubs like the Tuna Club that won't fish for money, and all the big money marlin guys that will never just for a trophy because it costs too much. And how could I ever get them all in the same tournament? We had all these different ideas and concepts. What did it take? What is the combination? How could we do it? Well, we did it for America. We did it for our troops. And all of a sudden, people are falling over. I got 50 yachts. I never had that many in the Catalina Classic, Dave. I got more yachts in WOW than I ever had in the Catalina Classic. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is.
And you don't win anything. You win a trophy.
Oh, you win a lot more than a trophy. You win a lot more than a trophy.
Bragging rights.
Right.
What I want to say something here real quick. And there's a lot of guys listening that are going to be participating in the tournament this year. Something that I think is super important is that you need to let your vets fish, no matter who you are, no matter what boat you're on, because I've been doing it now for 5 years. And when we come back to the dock, my guys every year are trying to explain and I'm not trying to pump myself up. Believe me, I don't need to pump myself up. I do it every single day. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're going to drive a boat in this thing and take these guys fishing, you got to let them fish. My guys come back to the dock every year and tell everybody that they caught 100, 150 fish per person, 3 guys. And they're talking to guys on the pier that didn't get to fish, touch the pole. It's important that you let us fish, right, Mike, Brett, Jack?
Yeah, you have to fish. That releases stress.
They don't know how to fish. Teach them.
It's not about winning the trophy. I know the bragging rights are cool and everything, but God, my guys go swimming. We throw the dinghies in the water. We fish on the dinghies. We do everything that most of you all take for granted because you do it every day. But my guys, every time I have them on the boat, most of them never even been on the ocean before. And we're going fishing, but we're going to go have as much fun as we possibly can, because it's all about fun. I don't care if we're standing on the podium at the end. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that the 3 guys that go with me are going to have the best time they could possibly have. And if we get to go up on the podium, we get to go up on the podium. I think we've been up there a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times, but it's amazing. If you let them fish, they can actually catch some stuff. Right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You will catch stuff.
And we like bringing these guys out, make sure they're fishing for rockfish. Everybody, has a ball doing that. They catch a bunch of fish, anchor up on a spot and catch a bunch of calico bass. You never know when a yellow is going to swim through. Do a little bit of that. Yeah, they want to go out there and try and catch a big fish if the stuff's around, but don't take them trolling for 2 days and hope for a bite. That's not the name of the game here. It's boring. Like the boats I've been on and one of the guys, like, we're going to go out there because I heard there's some, like, they don't even want to do that, man. Can we just go catch some more bass? I'm like, guys, I don't need more sardines unless I can go chase Dave down and get a couple more scoops. But they really, I mean, I know, Jack, I know you caught a bunch of marlin last year because you were on that hot shot Kiakai boat. Yeah, they really do want to fish and just have fun. Most of these guys, like, when you go out there and catch a bunch of mackerel, they're all excited. I'm like, dude, that's the bait. If that's all we caught, we say we caught nothing, but they have a ball just doing that, so we really do try to make sure that, I had, one of the vets on the boat last year, was missing a hand. He had a little claw there. And so he was really wanted to bait his own hook. So he's trying to figure out, do I put the hook in the claw or do I put the bait in the claw? And he was trying to figure it out. And now in his head, he's trying to figure out how to make a better, prosthetic hand so that he can handle a sardine without killing it. Like that's, to me, that's healing right there. That's Spivey. He's a go-getter, but he really wanted to do it. he didn't want a hook in hand. He would take that, but these guys. And then we had the other vet on the Marine, and he anchored up next to you. What I thought was gonna be the winner until I figured out what you guys had, Dave. He got like a 6-pound calico at East End of Catalina. There, all by himself. Pinned his bait, cast it out, hooked the fish, got it away from the seal, everything, and had a 6-pound calico off right there at Seal Rocks or somewhere near
Right
there.
there,
Unbelievable. Yeah. So watching these guys, so he was more excited to catch that calico bass, I think, unbelievable, all by himself.
Yeah.
100%.
I got a question for Dave. Hey, what do you think is going to happen with the fishing this year during the tournament? What do you see?
Well, I was just talking to my good friend Pete Grosbeck last night for a long time, and the projection for El Nino is absolutely as right as it could be, like an El Nino like we had in 1983, Rod. Pete's showing me all these graphics and showing me all this stuff. And we already, down here in Cabo, we already have 85-degree water. That's incredible for May. And he was telling me in Costa Rica, where he just came from on his boat, he was saying the water's already 85, 90 degrees. That's incredible. So I think this year it's going to be, and last year was insane. Don't get me wrong. Last year was insane with all the Dorado, but I think we're in store for even a better year this year. I think that all the what do you call it? All the maps are showing that this is just going to be the most insane water temperature year. And the last time we had this much rain in Southern California and this much water was 1983. And Rod and I were there. We know what happened in 83. It was incredible. We were catching yellowfin tuna 4 or 5 miles off the beach. We caught sailfish at the Dana Point Canyon. There was whale sharks at Catalina. I think we're in store in the timing. I don't know how Rod did it, and like he did last year. I mean, the weather, if it wasn't for the weather last year, it would have been incredible. The weather kind of what kept most of us from getting out there to where that tuna was, but there was plenty of tuna, plenty of Dorado, plenty of everything out there. It was just the weather kind of dampened a lot of us, even though I was on that big boat, my guys. Another thing, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about it. On the way out, I talked to my guys. I talked to my war heroes, and I find out where they are, what's going on inside of them. Is there a chance that they're going to not feel comfortable out here in the weather? All of that stuff matters. I parked that 130-foot boat inside of Pyramid Cove for two flipping days because my guys, I didn't want them to get seasick. I don't want them to not have fun. They had the time of their lives. They caught a million, and then we ended the day right fishing next to Rod on the east end of Catalina, another spot that was flat, glassy calm. I had to transfer from San Clemente Island to Catalina. You remember how nice that weather was, Rod, but we did it, and we got over there, and then I put him in a little sweet spot, and Rod parked next to us in a sweet spot. We both sat there, and the boat didn't rock, and it was sunny and warm, and that all matters. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you make a good point. And one thing that's really cool about this, Dave, is every fishing tournament, secret codes and secret channels and guys running all over. In this tournament, guys are calling each other in on bites and sharing bait and like, hey, there's a kelp over there. We got some Dorado off it if you want to give it some. And they're playing a little close to the vest, but a lot of sharing of information and bait for we went into Avalon that Friday night, went to dinner, came back. Every one of my bait was dead. And the guys, what are we going to do? I'm going to find Aquila on the AIS, and we're going straight there in the morning because I know I can beg some bait off of Dave because they had 50 scoops or something. So I did. And you gave me bait a couple times, gave me some dope on where to fish. The guys on Zoriana gave us bait. But we see the sharing of information, and you'll never see that in any other fishing tournament in the world. But no, the whole idea is let's get these guys fish. Let's do what we can do. And they did. They shared the information. They shared the resources. They shared the stuff. I know there was a kelp out there off Catalina that had a bunch of Dorado, and how many guys are yelling at you, stay off my kelp. And, oh, come on in. One more boat. Who cares? Throw some chum. Let's catch some Dorados for everybody. It's just that piece of a fishing tournament, freaking amazing.
Yeah. How many boats caught their limit on that rockfish spot on the front of Clemente because we couldn't go anywhere else? We all shared that spot. You got yours. I got mine. A couple other boats got theirs, all on the same little rock because it matters.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and people are willing to do that and share that sort of stuff. And you hear it on the radio, guys calling each other, what's the weather there? What's the water over there? And it's been that way every single year. It's that's a lot of fun to fish something like that, and to get these guys at least one weekend out of the year to do that. They're not doing it for the other captains, dude. They're doing it for the for the troops, for the Marines and the Army guys and the Air Force guys and the Navy guys and gals that are aboard. It's all about you. And this year we're just gonna do more of that. We keep encouraging it. We're gonna get more support from the rest of the sport fishing community. Make sure everyone's got plenty of everything. Why? It's because we love these guys, and it's the least we can do.
Yeah, it's the least we can do. So, this is such a great show, and I'm having so much fun. Brett, one more time, what did you catch that? Because we didn't even talk about what you caught. You won the tournament. You were the winner. What did you catch last year?
Maxed out on rockfish, bass. I caught 195-pound tuna, and then I think it was a 47 or 57-pound yellow.
You had a big yellowfin, the biggest
Yellowfin
of the tournament, the biggest bluefin of the tournament, limits of rockfish, limits of calicos. I know. Listen, I'm the scorekeeper. He won the bluefin division. He won the yellowfin division, and he won the overall top angler, which is the Ron Ashamini Award, which is a whole nother story. Ron Ashamini was Anthony's best friend and fishing partner, who was there for the first year of the tournament. Ron was a Vietnam vet. He was an Army Ranger. He's a tunnel rat, if you guys know what that means. And he never talked about his time in Vietnam or any of his challenges with that. But that first year of the tournament, we anchored there, and Anthony tells the story great, but I'll share it. He saw the planes fly over doing the flyby, and he started to cry, and he cried for an hour. And then he finally started talking about what it was like for him to be in Vietnam and the struggles and stuff like that. To Anthony finally shared it with them. And before the second year, we lost Ron to cancer. So we have two sort of like people that are the heart and soul of this tournament, one reason or another. The Ron Ashamini Award for the top angler, which Brent has won. And then the Josh Miles Award for the top yacht, which you guys were a close second this year, but was given away. But yeah, you won that yellowfin division handily, but the bluefin division you won by like a pound, and then which made you overall top angler, the Ron Ashamini Award, and it was my honor to hand you that trophy, Brent. We've had it to some great people over the years. The first one was Vinny, Caleb won. You've won it. I'm trying to think of who else has got that award.
Drew,
in the 5
Larry
years. There's two I'm
Drawn.
missing. Drew, how come this? And Larry Drawn, that's right. Larry and Drew had two of the greatest speeches I've ever heard. Two of the greatest awards reception speeches. Drew's speech when he won that award made us all cry, and Larry made us all proud. And we're proud of all you guys. Nothing against you, Brent, but those guys just they got it, man. When they got up there and said what they had to say, that was something else. And listen, we'll mention these guys' names first name because we know them so well. I forgot a couple of them, but we just know exactly who we're talking about because wow, as family, these guys are my brothers and sisters, and it's awesome.
It became you guys are my family for positively for sure.
Yeah.
And Mike and I were talking about Anthony, yesterday or the day before, how special that was when he let us all go to his stadium there in Florida.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh. That brought,
we were all there. Everybody on this call was there that day. That was
oh my gosh.
Yeah, the wow day at the Miami Marlins Stadium on the 4th of July weekend.
And poor Mike.
Mike, you threw out the first pitch. Right, Mike?
I sure did. I practiced for like a week. I think a week or
right
two.
over that catcher's head so far.
And I still threw a high fastball. So, but it was cool. It was a great experience, and thanks to Anthony and
that was a lot of fun.
Miami Marlins for us and bringing part of that.
And guys, we haven't even talked about it. How about what happened this year at the Pacifico Sport Fishing Show? Like Bill and those guys, I could talk about community support. So for those of you guys that didn't go to the show, first of all, Bill gives us a nice booth every year at the show to support War Heroes on Water. We solicited the vendors to do a silent auction from the exhibitors of the show. We had all kinds of great stuff, trips to Mexico and Alaska and, Simrad Electronics and all kinds of stuff like that. We raised, I think, $60,000. And then we hosted a private party after the Saturday night. We had it sponsored by Cutwater, his booze sponsor. We had Drew Baldridge, a country music performer and DJ, play some songs. We had a private party for for some WOW vets and for all the exhibitors to expose them to WOW. So we raised like Bill's like, what more can I do to help support this tournament? And they had an idea. How about we do this? I want to support WOW. So we had a private party. I saw all you guys at the show, try to make sure that as many veterans as possible come and roll through the booth. And it's another touch point. It's another chance to hang out, maybe grab a beer or something like that. I know, Mike, we spent a lot of time together then, and every year I've seen you guys there. So it's just so good to see everybody, get that community in. And then the whole exhibition hall of that show, it got exposed to War Heroes on Water. So we're looking forward to a lot of great more fundraising, a lot of great more opportunities, but it's just another way the community has come in to support our veterans and support this event. There's a lot of other, charity fishing type things going on out there supporting veterans and things like that. Ours is special, but man, we had a great time, and it's a one of a kind. And I really can't thank all the different people that support, but I'm going to give Bill DePriest and Mike Bond, the guys at PCS, a big props for what they did for us that on that weekend there.
Yeah, it was pretty special, right, guys? That was
Place was packed.
Wow,
what a show!
That was cool. So yeah. And Mike, you won a special prize. Tell them about your special prize you won.
Let me.
Oh, he's got it.
You have it?
Yeah, yeah,
So-
he has it.
So
It'll probably never see the water though.
No, I put it in the water. Doc. I won one of Doc's Doc Ski's rods. So thank you, Doc Ski. It's gonna just hang on my wall. You're a special individual, and I appreciate everything.
Navy Corpsman.
yeah. So
He's a lot better than.
Yep. So the backstory on that is they do a fishing rod raffle, a custom wrapped rod giveaway through the Batson Enterprises. And they do a raffle a couple times a day, but the last one every day is for military and first responders. And they pick a special rod, and Doc Ski is like world-class, world-famous custom rod wrapper, and Navy Corpsman, Vietnam era, loves the veterans. Every time their booth was near ours, he would come over every day. Who's your vets? How many got? Make sure I had a raffle ticket for each of the vets that were in our booth. And on the last day of the show, the grand prize was a custom red, white, and blue custom wrapped rod by Doc Ski. And he came around and make sure all the vets in our booth had a ticket. And sure as you know what, who won that rod was Mike
I
Nares.
gave him that ticket.
And even more special last year, Doc did the same thing, came by, and Travis, another one of our WOW vets, won the custom rod by Lori Heath, who's another famous rod wrapper around here, and a beautiful rod in red, white, and blue colors. So, WOW Freedom Alliance vets have won the top 2 rods the last 2 years at that thing, all courtesy of our man Doc Ski. Now, I'll put a prop out there. Doc is promised for 2 years. He's in the middle of making a custom rod just for War Heroes on Water for our silent auction. He's like, don't rush me. It'll be ready when it's ready, but I haven't forgot about you. I'm making it. So I'm not allowed to call Doc and say, hey, where's my rod? But we're going to call Doc and say, hey, where's the rod? Because I need to give it away for that silent auction. And guys, another thing that speaking of the silent auction, we're trying to get special and unique stuff. So I've talked to the Beak, Mike the Beak Hurt, another Hall of Famer, famous captain around here, entertainer, educator, and boat captain. I'm going to get one of Beak's favorites, rod and reel combos, since he's not fishing too much these days. He's managing. But I'm going to have in that silent auction a Mike the Beak Hurt, previously used, probably tournament winner, rod and reel in that silent auction. I bet you that'll be one of the top items that goes. Who wouldn't want to have Beak's rod and reel in their collection, even if it never sees the water again?
Exactly. That would be awesome. And another thing that you were just saying, gang, everybody that's listening, and there's a phenomenal amount of people listening, whatever you do for your job, whatever you make, it will help. You can donate whatever it is you're making. If it's carpet, you can donate some carpet. If it's a hat, you can donate. Whatever you're making, gang, there's somebody that needs what you're making. And so there's nothing out there that we will not appreciate you donating, right?
Right.
I mean, it all matters. And
Absolutely.
And the
it all goes to the cause.
Yeah. And Jack, you gave Mike that ticket?
I did. I handed him that ticket. I could have
No,
kept
you
it.
did not.
I can't.
He's obviously was in the Navy. He's a salty loser right now.
He's old and delusional.
I like to win too, so you know. And you can't. Brett, are you going to be on Bad Company again this year?
That would be nice.
Yeah,
But
no,
probably not.
so
Thanks.
I want to be with Dave.
Well, no, I'll have a good time with Dave.
No, not you, me.
I think this year I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
you'll-
pull things out of a hat and with the boat. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah. I tell you, that is the hardest part, Mike. Between me and you, trying to figure out which vets are going on which boats and shuffling that around. It's a big thing, you know, because we have a hard time because everybody, like, on the one hand, if you fish with someone last year, you want to fish with them again next year because you're friends. On the other hand, you want to meet some new friends. So it's really it's tough. It's tough to do that. And of course, we got roster changes, boats drop out, boats come in the last minute, vets can't make it, shuffling guys around. Mike and I lose our mind the last 3-4 days leading up to tournament. I think we make 70, 80 roster moves in the last 72 hours. But sometimes guys change boats after they're on the boat. You know, something happens, and that happened this year where we had to pull a couple guys off a boat that was having a mechanical issue on the way out of the harbor. I'm like, I finally get to relax, got all the vets on, got the boat parade, got everything done. I can finally just chill out and relax. Get a call in the video. Yeah, we got a problem. You know, I got a mechanical issue. I'm not sure I'll be able to go. I'm like, okay, just give me a minute to figure this out. And before I could even put the mic down, I got 6 boats going. I'll take them. Like, it was unbelievable, the camaraderie among the yacht crews. Because one thing we are never going to do, we're never going to leave a vet on the dock because we didn't have room for him. That just is not happening. So, but I was out of time and out of tricks up my sleeve, but I had a wonderful crew there of, you know, wonderful fleet of yachts that was ready to help out. And those 3 vets came off that boat onto another boat on the way out of the harbor. That's just how good, you know, this group of people are. And we encourage all your listeners, you want to be part of this. Oh my goodness, Stevie Finn, I see your name. I miss you, buddy. I can't wait to see you hopefully this year, man. We all love the Finn. He is the biggest character of all, I think, of the War Hero vets. Would you maybe agree with that, Mike?
I would say Finn is Finn. I love me some Finn, but Finn, damn it, you Finn. You Finn, that's about as much as I'm going to say, Finn. You know how much I love you, Finn.
Sometimes he's fish wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. Stevie Finn's one of the WoW vets. It's been a few years. He at the last minute had a personal thing. He couldn't make it this year. And so the crew that he fishes with, they all had these, like, they did a cutout of his face and they were holding it up in front of him on different parts on the boat, maybe sitting in the head and a few other places, and say, "Hey Finn, maybe you're not here, but you're here." So they were putting his face on their face like a little Finn mask all weekend. So Stevie, you know you were there even though you weren't there, and hopefully you got your kit. We saved a kit for you of all the swag that the WoW vets get. Tell us about that swag kit you guys get, man. Is that pretty spectacular?
I wear it all year long.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice, the bag, the jacket, the shirt,
The hat.
the hats, the Yeti cup, all that kind of great stuff. Yeah, Mike's pointing to it. So I mean I love it. Like when I see I become Facebook friends and you know whatever with a lot of the vets. I love it every time I see their picture pop up and they're wearing a WoW shirt or a WoW hat or something like that, or you know, all the time. And it makes me so proud when I see, because I know when you guys are wearing that shirt, it brings you right back to stepping on that yacht from the party or up on the pier. I hope you think of me just a little bit.
No.
Maybe
Rod,
not
we always
Dave, but
think
me.
We always think of you,
Yeah.
Rod.
Well, we love you guys, man. We really do. We love every bit about this. Everyone, I got to sign off and get back to my day job here.
Yep.
It's been so good seeing y'all. I appreciate it. All of you listeners and paying attention to this, man, reach into your heart, reach into your pocket, reach in and show these veterans some support. Give them some money. Give them your support. Just show up, man. Wave the flag. You know, let them know you care, because I know you do. And it doesn't take much, man. A little bit goes a long way. A lot goes a real long way. So dig deep, man. Go to your credit card limit if you can. It's all for a good cause. It is tax deductible. All right. Love you all. Thank you,
Love
Dave,
you.
for the opportunity.
All right. I got to
Thanks,
head.
Rod.
Checking
It's
out.
my anniversary. Love you guys.
Jack, see you later, buddy. Go get her.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Bye, Jack. Love
Okay, bye. See you soon.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So
And then there was
we still got a
3.
little bit of an audience. Yeah, the only 3 that really matter.
I mean, look at us.
Yeah,
Look at us. Look at us. Come on.
Absolutely. But you know what? I don't think we really spoke enough, and I think it's important for you two guys, and we'll start with Brett. Just what this tournament is all about for the vet, because a lot of guys are not in a good place. So, and a lot of gals aren't in a good place when they come back. And Mike kind of talked about it a little bit, but I mean, this tournament is, and what I love about what you do, Mike, when you put the guys on it's a different group every time. This is going to be my 6th year. I'm going to have 3 brand new vets. I don't want the same guys because I know them and I see them at the party and I see them on the pier and they love me and I love them and we love each other and we all have our phone numbers. I want another group. I want another 3 guys. I want to know more about more guys. Brett, what do you think? When you call Lasley, how rad is it to talk to Steve?
Oh man, every time you talk to him, you just learn something. But for me personally, like, you know, I've been in my dark times and, you know, always thinking about this tournament and meeting other vets that I don't know, Mike knows too. Like we talk to each other daily, like through like a big group text. And same thing with the captains and the owners. Like you become family, like a distant family, and you talk to them all the time afterwards. Once you get to know them and talk to them on the boat, it just continues throughout the year.
And that's why it's so important to understand how important your $10 is or your $5 or whatever you can afford to donate, because it's absolutely changing human beings' lives. And we can't do any of this without you guys' donations that are watching this right now. If it wasn't for your donations, none of this is possible. And like Rod said, Anthony, yeah, we all know Anthony. He's a very, very important human being to all of us. He didn't have to do this. He's done. He's having a great time. He's traveling all over the world fishing. But you know what? He understands, and he said, I don't need. None of us are getting anything out. It's all going to Freedom Alliance. And Mike, talk about it just a little bit more about Freedom Alliance, because there's a lot of people that weren't on in the beginning when you talked.
So Freedom Alliance, we are a nonprofit. We've been around for 30 plus years. We started off as a scholarship nonprofit. And so we've given an ungodly amount in scholarships. We probably have 600 students under our scholarship program right now to date, maybe a little more. But we also do other stuff. We always, house giveaways. We give away mortgage-free homes. We give away paymentless cars. We do a ramp program, which is if you have something wrong and you're a combat veteran, something wrong to your house and you're a combat veteran, then we try to do what we can to try to rectify that situation. We also, the department I run is the Outdoor Adventures Department. So what I do is I help facilitate and plan programs that, like in Texas, we take them fishing. Alaska, we take them fishing with our partner charter, Bonnie's Charter. I'd like to give a big shout out to them because they're amazing people, and they care about veterans just as much as any other program that we do. They, like, everybody that helps us out are true patriots in my mind. We work with Orange Torpedo down at the Rogue River. We take 15 veterans down the Rogue River every year. Adams Lodge Outfitter, they're a big supporter of us. We take people camping in Colorado in the Meeker Lakes area. We got Pepper down in Costa Rica, who does a lot of therapy type work that like, what better therapy than someone that's been there alongside you? So, like he recently did a group that all served in Ramadi together. They were all Marines. They all served in Ramadi together. And Ramadi back in 2004 was one of the most deadliest places in the world. And to bring a bunch of dudes that probably hadn't seen each other in a long time, gave them therapy and took them fishing and did all that stuff. Generous donors that help us with that, or help Pepper with that, because that's his program, that's his baby. There's a lot of stuff that we do, and I can't be more proud to be a part of an organization that cares so much and has been around for so long, and just like their sole purpose is to bring joy to to the American heroes, American women, and men and women heroes of the country, like the ones that signed the dotted line. That's the sole joy of the company. And like when you have that in the back of your head, you can't help but like love to give them praise. And our partnership with War Heroes on Water, I couldn't ask for a better partner. We've been around together we've been doing this for 6 years together, and
It's gotten huge.
We went from 28 people, right, Dave? I think it was 28 people our first year that we did this, to 125 people in 6 years. Like, that's a fast growing tournament. And the hard part is having to choose. That's the hardest part. Being part of the selection process, and like everybody's so deserving to be a part of the tournament. And that, like, you can't, and it sucks, you can't bring everybody. But
More boats.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to ask you too, Mike, because I get asked this question a phenomenal amount of time, because there's so many veterans, so many war heroes, so many people that love to fish and listen to us all the time on our podcast. And they want to know, how do they apply to be a part? Because I know you said that the selection is tough, but how do they get a chance to be in the box to get their name pulled?
First way is to apply, like fill out an application with Freedom Alliance. So we have a bunch of drop down boxes on there. You have War Heroes on Water drop down box. So if this is a tournament, you want to try to be a part of this tournament, that's the box you want to click. If you want to do outdoor adventures, you click that box. But you got to apply. But it all comes down to, like, were you wounded type of stuff. Like the wounded soldiers is what, like, we're big. We're trying to heal the wounds of war, and everybody has wounds from their time in combat. But we like to focus on, and I'm speaking for myself, not for Freedom Alliance. Like to focus on the combat wounded veterans, like those ones right there. Like, those are the ones that we have to fight for, because they've given so much. And you got it. Like, they're you can ask any combat wounded veteran, anybody that's been wounded in combat, you can ask them if they're deserving of it, and they're all going to say, no, there's always someone more deserving than me. Always someone more deserving than me. And then they'll never put themselves first. And, but to answer your question, just fill out the application. You will get a quick response back, letting you know that you're in the chute. But it is a selection process, and that's the hardest part. We have, like, this year we had about 300 people apply for War Heroes on Water. We're taking 125. That sucks.
Yeah, to say no.
Yeah. And, like, you got me, Pepper, and you got Justin. Us three, like me and Justin, we both been to combat. We both been wounded, and we got a great mind in Pepper that just, all the reasoning that he has behind everything is amazing. And so it's, when you get us three together, it's not like a 2-minute conversation about a certain individual. We sit there for 5 to 10 minutes and talk about it, and we have to figure out whether or not, and that's, but if you get your name in the hat, you have a chance to do it. If you don't apply, there ain't nothing I could do for you. Like if you don't ask, you don't get a no. Like you always, right. Just put yourself in there. Like, you're deserving of it.
Absolutely. That's probably the most amazing thing about Brian Myers is when I talked to him that first tournament, and I've talked to him. We went to the stadium together. We flew on the plane together. We do, because he's coming from San Diego at the time. The one thing, the guy got the ever-loving poop blown out of him. And he's got no regrets. He's not mad at anybody. He goes, I know what I did. I made the mistake. I did it. I volunteered for this. I went there and I did it. And he has no regrets. And he feels unworthy of the love and of the caring that we all have given him and we've all shown him. And I know you feel the same way. You and I have had some long talks, you feel the same. You don't feel like you deserve the love, which is absolutely ludicrous to me. And Brett, you don't feel you deserve the love, but you guys do. And that's what people don't understand. They're like, Dave, can you get me in? Well, no, you got to apply. Could you imagine if we could take everybody? That would be so spectacular. We didn't have to say no, but you got to apply, and you got to go through the process. And no, Pepper doesn't want to say no. Justin doesn't want to say no. Mike doesn't want to say no. That's not what it's about. You guys have been in this thing long enough to understand that you're doing your very best to try to figure out which one of these heroes is going to get to go. And you might not go this year, but hey, next year, don't stop. Don't stop and call. My number's everywhere. You can call me anytime. It's on every bathroom wall in America.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
And out of the country.
I get a lot of cool phone calls. I get a lot of cool phone calls, but my goodness, this thing is just so incredible. The amount of love that you feel when you go to this event, like we were saying earlier, and you're in the harbor. You don't, your boat's not big enough, but you're in the harbor, and here comes Brett coming by on his boat, and everybody's fired up, and they look at your boat, and you got a 20-foot boat. You're in the harbor. You got 4 or 5 friends, and they're all waving the American flag, and what does that feel like in your heart, Brett? What does that feel like?
It's special. It's definitely special.
You guys are changing. It changes your life. It's not so special, but it changes your life, because then you feel, hey, there are people out there that actually give a, and I'm going to cuss, there are people out there that give a shit. You know, there are people that, and we need to hear that, because I talk to you guys all the time, and that's what number one thing. And I feel the same way a lot of times. When someone tells me how special it is to get to talk to me, I'm like stoked, because shit, I don't feel worthy to talk to you most of the time. So I know what you're going through. I feel your pain. I'm with you guys, and I'll never stop giving. As long as I got something to give, I'm going to always be there for you guys. I promise.
I can tell you this. Every veteran that's a part of this tournament, when they see that flag flying and they're on a boat and they hear the greatest song in the world, the national anthem going, you look at the veteran on your boat. I guarantee you, when they see that, they see the camaraderie, the family that the tournament brings. You're going to see a tear come down a grown man's face or woman. You know, you're going to see it, and it's not because, you know, like, they served. They just love their country, and you guys are like, the tournament shows how much the fishing community loves their country, and to feel the warmth, it feels like you're, you know, like I said earlier, it feels like it's a brotherhood, it's a family. Sorry, I'm a cuss too. The shit that you guys show us, it doesn't get any better than that. And the feeling for a lot of people is like, holy cow, we have this much support.
It's a feeling, and it, you know, it tells you this is what I fought for. When you see how loving that community is, that's why we fought for stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, before I got involved in this whole thing, I didn't understand. It didn't make sense to me until I sat down with you guys and talked to you, and then I was like, holy mackerel, this just took a big giant chunk of my heart, and I'm like, I'm in 100%. Try to not get me there. Try for me not to be there, because I'm going to be everywhere all the time, no matter what. And I drop everything and come from a foreign country to hang out with you guys. When they say we can hang out again, I'm there. I'm like, here we go. I'm coming out of the way. That baseball game, I don't think we can touch on that enough, Brett.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Gang, we got to go to the Florida Marlins baseball stadium, and we got to go on the field. Mike got to give. I remember how nervous you were, Mike. You got to give a speech. Oh my gosh, it was just incredible on that first pitch, and then Brett, when they invited us all come down on the field after the game, how cool was that? It was just incredible.
VIP status right there.
And we got to set in Anthony's boxes. We were in 2 different boxes, and we had, gang, you don't understand, we got to eat the most killerest food as much as we wanted.
And booze.
Right. Thank God I don't drink, or I would never be invited back.
The chicken wings were fire. I enjoyed the chicken wings. That was the best. I'm a very big chicken wings person, and if you could give me some chicken wings, I will eat chicken wings every single day of my life.
They had wings, hot dogs, nachos, a dessert cart. A dessert cart.
Oh, that's what Mike and I were talking about the other night. The dessert cart, when she wheeled that in there, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I'm getting me some ice.
You messed up.
Yeah. It was such a great show having you guys on here. Thank you so much for everything.
Thanks for having me.
For us, all of us. Thank you so much. And gang, if you're thinking about, Mike, where do they apply? Freedom Alliance, right on your shirt.
Yeah, go to. You can go to. Let me get to it real quick. I just had it on my computer. You can go to tfaforms.com /. 4674944, and that will take you to the direct application link. Again, it's TFA forms. Sorry, my bad. tfaforms.com /4674944. And I'll send that to Dave. I'll send that to you, Dave. I'll email that to you so that you can post it later. And it'll take you to a direct link to the application site. But if you can't go there and you don't want to wait for it on Dave's thing, just go to freedomalliance.org and you can find us. There's a drop down site on there where you can apply there or donate. It's up to you. And you get to see all the great work that Freedom Alliance does with War Heroes on Water, the great man Dave Hansen over here, and everybody that's a part of this fishing tournament. We can't thank you enough. We can't thank Dave. We can't thank Anthony, Rod, TJ, Steve, Colby Durnan, everybody. We can't thank them enough. And without you guys' support, this wouldn't be possible for the men and women that serve the country. So please, in your kind heart, if you can, please donate, help out for a great cause. It's not going to CEOs and all that type of stuff. It's going back to the veteran community. And
grab that QR code real quick right there, gang. If you want a quick, easy way to get into the donation page, that's going to be your link to get in there. And then I want to show you another thing. Larry and the guys over at Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance, they're a big donator to War Heroes on Water. So check out Larry and the boys over at Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. They're giving away a trip to their lodge in Alaska. Is going to be one of the silent auction things that are going to be available. And he has nothing but got a huge heart. He's all about the War Heroes. So make sure you go check out his website as you're logged on here. Check that out. Grab that QR code and look at what he's got to offer. And that's going to be up on the silent auction to go hang out with Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance up in Alaska. He's donating that to the silent auction, and the money, every dime of it's going to go straight to Freedom Alliance. That's pretty spectacular. There's so many people that are a part of this. You and I and Brett, we could just thank people for the next 3 hours and we wouldn't even cover all the people.
Not even close.
Everybody that watched the show, everybody that's been a part of this, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, YouTube, Facebook, share this with all your friends. Share this. You can't share this enough. It's super important to Brett, Mike, and all the veterans across the United States of America. This means a lot to everybody. So show your love. Mike, Brett, thank you so much for the show today. It was incredible. Yep. I ran out of Kleenex. I gotta go. Love you guys.
You can use my shirt.
Oh, thank you. I will as soon as you get down here.
Need a beard?
I do.
August.
Mine's looking a little shabby right now.
I told
all right,
you
guys.
August.
Love you.